So hey guys, in this video I want to talk to you about some of the things that you need to consider when you're shopping around for a new bank. So I realize shopping around for a new bank can be extremely confusing and scary. There's tons of different banks to go with. You can go with a big bank like Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase. You can go with a regional bank, local bank, or a completely online digital bank. So I want to share with you guys some of the things that we considered when we moved our bank account from Wells Fargo to another financial institution. And make sure that you watch all the way to the end, guys, because I'm going to share with you guys exactly where we moved our money and why we chose it over Wells Fargo. So hey guys, if you are new here, my name is Susan Velez, and on this channel we talk about making money, saving money, investing money, and taking care of our health so that we can catch up for retirement, especially if you are late to saving for retirement like me. So the first thing that you need to consider when you are considering moving or switching banks is the bank that you're moving to FDIC insured? So the best way to find out is to go on their website and find out whether or not they are FDIC insured, because most banks in the United States are FDIC insured up to $250,000. This means that if anything happens to that bank, it collapses, it goes out of business, goes bankrupt, or whatever happens, your money is insured up to $250,000. So avoid any banks that are shady and don't offer an FDIC insured insurance, because if that happens, if you go with the bank that is not FDIC insured and anything happens to that bank, you do not get any of your money back. You're out of luck. The next thing you want to consider, guys, is fees. Banks, especially big banks, have tons of hidden fees, and the only way that you find out what type of hidden fees there are is to read the fine print. And I'm going to share with you guys some of the things that we were concerned with when we were shopping around for a new bank. So the first thing is minimum balance. Does the bank require you to carry a minimum balance? And if so, how much of a minimum balance do you have? And what are the fees if you don't maintain that minimum balance? This is huge for us, guys. We avoid banks that require us to have a minimum balance, because the way we use our checking account is we don't keep a minimum balance in there. We don't even keep a huge balance in there. We use that bank account or the checking account to pay our bills, get our direct deposit, and then transfer money from our checking account to our emergency fund, investments, and all this other stuff. So we keep just a very small cushion inside of that checking account. So we don't want a bank that requires us to carry a minimum balance. So you want to make sure that if the bank does require you to carry a minimum balance, that you can maintain that minimum balance to avoid paying any type of fees. The next thing you want to look for is ATM fees. So banks are notorious for offering or charging all kinds of ATM fees. Back in the day, guys, you could use all kinds of different ATMs, especially the cash points, without getting charged a fee. But now banks are charging ATM fees for using any other type of ATM except for that bank's ATM. If your bank does charge ATM fees, guys, one of the things to ask them is, do they reimburse the ATM fees? And if the bank does reimburse the ATM fees, is there a cap on the amount that they will reimburse? Because when I was doing some research, I think it was Ally, I'm not sure if it was Ally Bank or another bank that charged ATM fees, and they would only reimburse up to $10 a month in ATM fees. This might sound like you'll never hit a $10 limit or cap on ATM fees, but the truth is that some of these ATM fees can be extremely high. I remember I stopped at, I think it was Horizon Bank. I'm not sure if that's a local bank or not, but they charged me $5 to get $100 out of my checking account. So $5, guys, if your bank charges you an ATM fee for using another bank's ATM fee, and then a bank charges you $5 for using their ATM fee, you see how you can go over $10 easily. So if your bank has a cap on the amount of ATM fees that they will pay, then you're out of luck if you go over the limit. Then anything over that limit is not going to be reimbursed, and it's going to be on you. So make sure that your bank doesn't charge ATM fees, and if they do, is there a reimbursement? And if they do reimburse, make sure there's no cap on reimbursements. Another fee that you need to pay attention to, guys, is does your bank charge you for using bill pay or mobile deposit. I know a lot of these features are free. A lot of banks will offer these features for free, but you want to make sure that your bank doesn't charge you any fees for using bill pay or mobile deposit. And also, guys, you want to make sure that if that is important to you, you want to make sure that your bank has a good app that you can download on your phone and use those features, because I know a lot of people don't have time to go into the bank. So you want to make sure that those features are available for your bank, because even though it is, a huge thing that a lot of people use these features, not every bank will offer these features. And then another thing you want to watch for, guys, is do they charge you a fee for paper statements? If you're the type of person, if you're old school and you prefer paper statements versus getting your online statements, some banks will charge you a fee for like $1 to get paper statements. So you want to make sure that your bank doesn't charge you fees for paper statements should you want to choose paper statements over online statements. And then the next thing you want to watch for, guys, is overdraft fees. So I know most of us have good intentions and don't plan to overdraft our account, but sometimes accidents happen, mistakes happen, and sometimes we get in the negative, and you want to make sure you understand what those fees are and do they offer protection and what do they charge for protection. Because if you are constantly overdrafting your fee or your checking account, you want to make sure that they do offer some type of protection and it's not ridiculously expensive. The next thing you want to watch for in fees is, do they offer fees whenever you transfer to another external financial institution? And what I mean by this, guys, is a lot of banks, especially the financial institution that we chose to go with after Wells Fargo, is they do charge you a $3 fee to push money into another financial institution. So make sure you ask them about external transfer fees, because some banks will charge you to transfer your money from their financial institution to another financial institution. Now, if your bank does charge this fee and you have found that you really want to go with this bank, but you don't want to pay external transfer fees, there is a way around getting over those transfer fees. And the way that we've done it, guys, is instead of pushing the money from the financial institution that charges you the fee, what you do is you go to the other financial institution that you want to push the money or pull the money into, and you pull the money from that financial institution that charges you for the external fees. It can be a little confusing. You have to understand the difference between push versus pull. So the bank will charge you whenever you push money from their financial institution into another financial institution, but they will not charge you a fee whenever you're pulling money. So you have to go from pushing money to pulling money. And like I said, guys, this can be a little confusing, but once you understand the difference, it's really not hard to overcome those external transfer fees. And then the next thing that you want to look for, guys, is location. So if you're the type of person who needs a brick and mortar bank because you prefer to go in the bank and do your business in person, then you want to find a bank that is conveniently located to you. You want to find a bank that has more than one branch in your place, and you want to make sure that that branch has several ATMs that are conveniently located for you to do business, because the last thing you want to do is pick a brick and mortar financial institution and not have one that is conveniently located to you, because it's going to be really hard to go to the bank. And if you choose a completely online digital bank, guys, this isn't really going to matter to you because you're not going to be doing business in person. But one thing that is going to be important to you guys is customer service, whether you're choosing a brick and mortar bank or a completely online digital bank. And I think that a brick and mortar bank might not be as important as customer service may not be as important to somebody who is choosing a completely online bank. But most banks will offer customer service during regular business hours, Monday through Friday, but some will also offer some type of chat service, maybe even during the weekends. I'm not sure if this is really what most banks offer, but I know that during regular customer business hours, you want to make sure that that bank is responsive and has good customer service and can answer your issues, your questions, and resolve them quickly without taking hours or spending hours on the phone just waiting to speak to a customer service representative. And you want to make sure that the customer representative that you do speak with can be understandable. You can understand them, speaks English, and takes care of your issues. Now, I'm not trying to say anything, but I know a lot of customer service representatives with companies that I deal with they're hard to understand. They don't speak English very well. And this is because a lot of companies will outsource their customer service representatives overseas. You want to make sure that your company or the bank that you choose actually has good customer service. And the last thing that you might want to consider, this wasn't a huge thing for me, but this might be a huge thing for you, is the interest rate that you're going to get charged or get paid on your checking, and if you open up a savings account. But for this video, guys, we're just talking checking. You want to look at the interest. You might want to look at the interest that that bank pays on the checking account. Now, I can tell you most checking accounts in the United States are not going to earn a lot of money, but that's not really what the purpose of the checking account is for. If you're looking to save money or keep a big balance in your checking account, you might want to consider moving your money or your savings to a high yield savings account, because those banks are going to pay a lot better in interest than checking accounts. So these are some of the things that you should look or consider asking when you are shopping around for a new bank. And guys, let me just recap what we went over. So the first thing you want to look at is whether or not the bank is FDIC insured. The fees, the hidden fees that you're going to get charged, you want to make sure you take the time to read the small print, find out every fee that that bank is going to charge, whether or not they are conveniently located. This is huge, especially if you are looking for a brick and mortar bank. And then what type of customer service? Do they have a good customer service that you can actually call in or chat and get your issues and questions resolved quickly? And guys, those are the things that were important to us, because I am a huge advocate that I don't think that we should have to pay money or fees on the money that we bank with, that we hold in a bank. There's no reason to pay fees in today's day and age. There's so many banks online and available that will not charge you fees. So like I said, guys, I said I was going to share who we moved our money with. We closed our Wells Fargo account out about 2 weeks ago, and we moved our money to a credit union. And the reason that we chose a credit union over a bank is because, unlike a bank, guys, they don't charge fees, and we didn't want any fees. So that was the main reason that we chose a credit union. Now, like I said, guys, the financial institution or the credit union that we did choose does charge us an external transfer fee whenever we move money from that financial institution to another financial institution. There's a $3 fee, but we've managed to overcome that fee by understanding the difference between push versus pull. And like I said, guys, if you don't understand what I mean by that, just ask the bank when you go to open that account. So anyway, guys, let me know down in the comments below, are you shopping around for a new bank? And if so, who did you decide to go with and why? And if you enjoyed this video, guys, give it a thumbs up. Click on that subscribe button so that you can be notified whenever I put out a new video. And also, guys, make sure that you join me on my journey to reaching a net worth of $500,000 so that we can retire with dignity, especially if you are late to saving for retirement like me. And until next time, guys, take care, and I will talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye.